It all started with the suitcase. Agnes Perkins, or Agnes as she preferred, though everyone called her Karen behind her back, had spent 3 agonizing days meticulously packing for her 2-week vacation to Bora Bora. Each item, perfectly folded and placed, represented a carefully curated expression of her refined taste. A slight wrinkle on a silk scarf could ruin her entire trip in her mind. This wasn't just a vacation. This was an exquisitely orchestrated performance of self-indulgence. Little did she know, this meticulous packing was the prelude to a symphony of airport chaos. The sheer perfection of her luggage was a stark contrast to the storm that was brewing within her. The anticipation of paradise was already battling a simmering anxiety about potential disruptions to her carefully crafted itinerary. The check-in process was the first act of this travel drama. Agnes, with her perfectly coiffed blonde hair and a pearl necklace that could feed a small village, was already bristling. The airline employee, a young woman named Sarah, had dared to suggest that Agnes's oversized carry-on might need to be checked. Agnes's carefully constructed facade of serene elegance crumbled. The suggestion was an insult, an affront to her carefully planned efficiency. This bag contained her meticulously chosen skincare products, the very essence of her self-care routine. How dare Sarah question her methods? The air crackled with unspoken accusations. Sarah, a seasoned veteran of airport meltdowns, simply remained calm, though internally she was already counting the seconds until her break. Security was a battlefield. Agnes's expensive, limited edition lipstick, deemed a potential weapon by the security agent, was confiscated without apology. The sheer audacity. Agnes's carefully composed demeanor splintered into indignant fury. Her voice, initially a refined whisper, escalated into a high-pitched crescendo of complaints, punctuated by demands for a supervisor and thinly veiled threats of legal action. The other passengers, initially amused by the spectacle, shifted uncomfortably. They could practically taste the tension building like a pressure cooker about to explode. Agnes, in her mind, was the victim of an elaborate conspiracy designed to ruin her trip. The ensuing hour was a blur of phone calls, mostly to customer service, each conversation escalating Agnes's already sky-high frustration. She complained about the confiscated lipstick, the wait times, the uncomfortable chair, and the audacity of the lukewarm coffee served at the airport cafe. Meanwhile, the other passengers in her vicinity tried their best to ignore her ranting, burying their faces in books or pretending they couldn't hear her over the airport's constant background noise. The air itself seemed charged with a potent mix of caffeine and simmering resentment. Boarding was delayed, then further delayed. Agnes, increasingly agitated, began to frantically search her perfectly organized suitcase. Somewhere in the chaos of security, she'd misplaced her diamond earrings. Panic tightened its grip. These weren't just any earrings, they were family heirlooms. Her composure finally fractured completely. Tears welled, not of sadness but of enraged frustration. The carefully constructed facade was gone, revealing the raw, unfiltered fury simmering beneath. The delayed flight was merely the straw that broke the camel's back. On board, the flight attendant, a gentle soul named Maria, tried to offer Agnes a complimentary beverage. It was met with a torrent of insults, the misplaced earrings having become a symbol of the injustices she suffered. Every inconvenience, real or perceived, was amplified tenfold. Maria, with years of experience in handling difficult passengers, maintained an unwavering calm, a stark contrast to Agnes's explosive outburst. The other passengers watched in silent horror, some sneaking glances and whispering among themselves. The plane finally took off, leaving the chaotic scene of the airport behind. Agnes, however, remained trapped in her own personal tempest. The scenic views of the clouds and the promise of paradise were lost on her. Her mind raced, replaying every perceived slight, every perceived inconvenience. The beautiful, serene landscapes of Bora Bora awaited, yet Agnes remained tethered to the bitterness of her airport experience. During the long flight, the anger gradually morphed into a deep sense of disappointment. Agnes's dream vacation had begun with a catastrophic clash of wills with the very systems designed to facilitate her journey. This was not the luxurious escape she had envisioned. Her carefully orchestrated performance of refined travel had been completely undermined by the unplanned events. The beach in Bora Bora was stunning, the water crystal clear and unbelievably turquoise. But Agnes could barely appreciate it. The beauty of the surroundings seemed to mock her inner turmoil. Her carefully chosen vacation wardrobe felt inappropriate, her frustration lingering. The perfection she craved remained elusive, tainted by the memory of her disastrous start. The remainder of Agnes's vacation became a disjointed, restless experience. Every moment was tinged with resentment. The paradise around her offered no solace, the beauty failing to penetrate the armor of her anger. The perfect vacation remained stubbornly out of reach, a victim of the chaos she had inadvertently unleashed upon herself. The trip ended, not with relaxation and serenity, but with a grim determination to file a formal complaint and demand compensation for her unacceptable experience. The meticulously planned trip became a testament to how even the most painstaking preparations can be undone by a storm of one's own making.